Всіх вітаю, з вами Сквіді. Я продовжую проходити Come Deliverance 2. В сьогоднішній серії я буду виконувати сюжетне завдання Королівський гамбіт.
Lovely morning, isn't it?
To hell with the weather. You always brighten my day.
Be considerate. You'll make me blush.
You said you could teach me something. What did you have in mind?
If you ask nicely, I'll share some of my hard-earned wisdom with you.
Very well then, Lady Know-It-All. Let's say then I come on bended knee. What scholarship can you pass on to me?
That depends on what you're interested in. There's a whole world hidden inside of books I could talk to you about for days on end. Or if you prefer actions instead of words, I can show you a few shooting tricks. But I warn you in advance that it will not come free. After all, there's nothing more valuable than scholarship. So, what would you like?
I'd
Учені
like to
зразу.
expand my horizons a little. What's the last thing you read, for instance? Anything interesting?
You'd better believe it. I only read interesting things, and I can talk about them for hours.
Ну і зразу лук також.
Could you teach me something?
Why
Піднімо.
not? But I warn you in advance that it will not come free. So,
Та добре,
I'd
стрільбу.
like you to show me some archery tricks. You shoot like a... well, a wild woman.
I prefer the term Amazon.
Will you teach me?
Listen closely so I don't have to repeat myself.
Так, добре, дякую. Так, де тут вихід? А, о. Та йокраде бабай.
Hooch will outlive us all.
Always glad to see polite people like you, silly
He
doggy.
was fit as a fiddle. What happened?
They say he went to bed healthy, but never woke up.
Так, стосовно зброї. Угу. Так,
It's a
добре.
mystery.
God, that's terrible.
Джал
His
обов'язково.
mother said he'd been...
Так, тепер куди мені тут? Сюди. Дізнайтеся в монетаря Вовка, як пробратися до магістрату. Все добре. Це закину. Також. Опит на коні 236. Це таки заїду спочатку.
Easy.
Щоб
Nice and
скинути все, що мені не потрібно.
Whoa, whoa.
Варта.
I'm going to see the Mint Master. May I enter?
Any fool could say that. What do you want from him?
I have an appointment with him.
All right, go ahead then. But don't waste too much of his time.
Так, добре. Але спочатку мені потрібно перетягнутися і вмитися. Йоп, 100 дей. Де цей? Все. Ага, більше не можу помитися, добре.
Glad to see you again.
You have the gall to show me your face again? I'll call the guards.
Hold your horses. I'll come in peace. Actually, I have a little offer for you.
You've come to blackmail me again?
Call it what you like. I need to get into the City Council Assembly. And I reckon you can help me.
The assembly? The one King Sigismund is supposed to attend in person?
Sigismund's just a usurper. Wenceslas is the only true Bohemian king.
Singing Ruthard's song, eh? I might have known. Speak then. What do you want? And tell the truth.
I want to know what Sigismund tells the council. I hear it'll be important.
You want to spy? Do you know what you're risking? And what I'd be risking? Forget it.
Have you forgotten I have you over a barrel? If you want to keep your position and your head on your shoulders, you better shape up.
All right, all right. Maybe we can make a deal. If I get you into the council, you'll behave appropriately and you won't betray yourself, or especially me. And that will be the end of our business together.
Ого. Важко, але я краще погоджуся, бо не впевнений, що я зможу його умовити.
All right. That seems like a fair deal.
You can get into the council assembly relatively easily. My cook's son will be serving there. He's roughly around your age. Maybe he can be persuaded to let you stand in for him. Although, not everyone would want to give up an opportunity to serve the King of Hungary.
Who's this boy?
Franta's his name. Franta Cooldown. He's an idler and a boozer, but he's proved his worth as a waiter. Which reminds me, you'll need his letter of permission to serve in the council. Otherwise, you won't be let inside.
What will I need to work as a waiter there?
Fast feet and good manners. And the livery of a royal waiter.
Excuse me?
Do you think you can serve the king in a torn shirt and muddy hose?
Well, no. But I never heard about any livery before.
Our usual waiter had a brand new livery made specially for meeting the king. Don't even show up there without it.
Where can I find the cook's boy?
He's supposed to pick up his new clothes at the market today from Master Tailor Schneider. You'll almost certainly run into him there. That is, if he's up and about after his boozing bout. I swear that fellow practically lives at that Tin Hen.
At the what?
That German alehouse, the Iron Eagle. That is Zum Eisernen Adler.
What would work on him? How can I persuade him to give me his job?
Would you like me to give you a letter for him? I told you how to get to the assembly. Now do your part.
I'll be going then. See you at the council.
Just make sure we both come out of it alive.
То для мене головне. Так, спочатку, думаю, роздобудьте вбрання, роздобудьте документ.
Easy, good horse.
Хто там мене вже шукає, якорний бабай? До речі, що з збереженням? Немає. Тоді збережуся.
Whoa, whoa.
Quality goods, the finest wares. Like no other.
Come and take your pick.
Hung like butter.
What'll it be?
Dyed broadcloth, beautiful colours, striped fabric.
Hackers, and nails. Take your pick. All quality.
То знову в цьому. А, вон сього він йде, кажись.
Finest work. I nearly left my fingers on them for buttons. I'll tell you, you won't get work like that just anywhere.
No more than I'd expect after the amount they cost, but they're first class, I have to admit. Thanks, Schneider. I'll gladly recommend you if anyone asks.
Anything you need.
Greetings. What do you need?
You must be Franta Cooldown.
I am. And who might you be?
I'm Henry. I heard you were supposed to serve at the City Council Assembly.
I am. What's it to you?
But the thing is, that job is just my thing. And a fella could easily disgrace himself in front of the king. Do you feel up to it?
Look here. It's not like I'm all that keen on it, but it's well paid. Apart from that, it's a bit of a pain in the arse. Them councillors stuffing their faces and guzzling wine, while I run around like a bugger with pitchers so they don't run dry. Why would you want to stick your nose in there?
Hose! Colourful hose! Great for
I want to see the king in the flesh.
Why's that?
I heard a lot about him. How he won lots of battles, how he's courageous, just...
And as bad-tempered as the devil. He's got the councillors shitting themselves, fearing what's coming at this assembly. The more I think about it, the happier I am about not having to be there. To begin with, you'll need confirmation that you've worked as a waiter at the council and you're capable of serving even His Majesty. Look here. Do you have any idea what's expected of you? Can you tell different wines apart and that?
Needles, thread, pins!
Of course. Who do you take me for?
All right, no need to get upset. Show the confirmation to the head butler. Tell him I sent you and think up some good excuse, clear?
That makes sense.
And you'll need a waiter's livery. I had a brand new one made. Here it is. I look like a prick in it. Hopefully it'll sit better on you. The main thing is, don't lose it before the assembly or get it covered in shit.
Thanks. I won't disgrace you, I promise.
You better not. Farewell, my friend.
Coming by!
До речі, що тут у мене по навичках пиявства? З 14 рівень. Його б варто було б спочатку підняти, перш ніж відправлятися на завдання.
The finest canvas!
Buy some apples.
Так що, в принципі,
Come closer and take a
можна
look.
було б сходити,
Quality goods here.
напитися в Зюзю і подивитися, до речі, і це тимчасовий, умовно кажучи, квест, чи ні? З'явіться на службу. Бо це може бути і зараз, типу, обов'язково підійти і зразу виконувати квест.
Same to you.
А може і не відразу.
Greetings. What do you want?
I'll have a look at you.
Так. Вино. Це я скуплю. І все.
I'd like to do...
You see? Happy to be of service.
Сподіваюся, у мене в закромах достатньо багато
And they don't collect tithes before then.
алкашки. Міщанка, плавильник. Катерина. Так, ні, не зараз.
Been since you went missing.
It'll be 3 years this winter.
It really is a mystery.
Ложениця, не
Just
поговорить.
disappearing like that overnight.
Lord knows what really happened.
God
Ганка.
forbid anything bad happened to him.
Not a chance. If he's dead, then so be it. He ran away.
I'm at.
О,
What do you have for sale?
що у неї є багато всього цікавого. Є чи нема, нема різниці. Я хочу
Let's talk about...
прокачати пияцтво.
Aye.
Наскільки це можливо. По їжі. У мене достатньо тут було. Це є, до речі. До речі, чуть не забув. Зілля від похмілля з нагідок. Так, добре, нагідки. Сильне депове. Немає. Нема зараз знахідок. Хіба що звичайний відвар. То не дуже добре. Так, кропова нагідки. Хоча можна і більше зробити. Похмільне. П'янілість та похмілля. 6 зіль. Даємо. Так, добре. Спочатку просто збережуся. Так. Ні, є збереження, то добре. Тепер можна бухати на широку ногу. До речі, шлункове. Щоб швидше проходило. Так. Ситість. Та, немає, кажись, у мене. Так, легше відчистити, так. Ну, в принципі, можна і без цього якось. Алкоголь 30, 20. Ну, почну з самогону. Так, до речі, що тут? 15-й, 142. Так, 16-й вже рівень. Ви переїлися. Почекайте, поки їжа перестане. 149 кілограм. Точніше, очок ситість. Добре, 16 рівень вже пияцтва. Його вже давно потрібно було підвищити. Вживання будь-якого зілля легко зцілить вас на додачу до його власного ефекту. Ефект зцілення буде сильнішим, чим більше ви сп'яніли в позитивній фазі. Так. В оп'янні життя здається набагато кращим. Бонус від позитивної фази сп'яніння активується наповно раніше. Нам то не цікаво. Це можна взяти. Ну і це нехай буде. Ви знепритомніли. Вау!
Like you're as drunk as a lord. Where did you get so wasted?
Oh, it's you! Now, I'm sorry that I didn't let you know.
Oh, you much.
Да. Йокарний баба ідея. Я перевантажений, швидка подорож неможлива. Вау!
I better not forget about that council assembly.
Схоже на те, що все-таки це часовий квест. І не можна довго чекати, бо він провалиться.
I won't make it to the council assembly.
Я вас зрозумів. Я вас дуже добре зрозумів.
This rate.
Можна ще попробувати. Ну-ка, якщо я ще налягаюся сильно. Одинадцять, коленка 20. Цікаво, наскільки сильно можна взагалі налегатися. Так, пояство 19 рівень вже. О, знову знепритомнів. Черевики поцупили. Це все рівно пробний, так сказати. Без вас ваші союзники не... Так. Добре, я вас зрозумів. Задач не можна вже очікувати. Да.
Quality goods here.
На превеликий жаль, цього не можна. Ніяк. Не зробити. Ідеться з цим рівнем пияцтва йти. Да.
Franta Cooldown sent me. I'm to stand in for him at the council assembly.
Franta's not coming? What's wrong with him?
І що тут вибрати? Скалічився, можуть спокійно перевірити. Напився. Його це от, лайфні.
He's in church. He's been there on his knees for 2 days, from dawn to dusk. I suppose he committed some awful sin. Got a very fat penance.
Did he have to go and confess now, when he's supposed to report for duty? Well, what can I do? You'll have to stand in for him. We can't be without a waiter here, when the king himself will need waiting on. So, let's have a look at you. Have you got Franta's certificate?
Sure. Here it is.
Everything's in order. Now, about your livery. You know a good waiter by his properly seated cap, and you don't have it at all. Without a tunic, you're no royal waiter, just a common alehouse boy. And have you forgotten your hose? I can't let you into the chamber without them. You can put your steel aside in front of the council chamber, along with your other stuff. You won't be needing it anyway. You don't want to be dragging a load if you're running around tables. The royal waiter's livery has strict rules. So get changed quick and come back on time.
Добре. Я це зараз зроблю. Капелюх. Ой, ні, не це. Ось це вбрання. Заміню. А що, взуття, типу, без взуття? Любе взуття можна. Харизма. Йо, це 47 бруду. Треба сходити, випрати всі речі. Харизма 13. Харизма тут таки так страждає. Де тут можна все випрати? Водильня не те. Залізне не те. Міські лазні. Таке тут чи що? Схоже, все ж таки на те. Що тут лише одні міські лазні. Що ж тут поробиш?
Did you hear him die?
То ти голяр, я.
day.
Good day, sir.
I could use a trim, Master Barber.
Так, за ними великого кулату голяр може змінити вам зачіску чи підстригти бороду. Послугами голяра можна скористатися або в лазні при заїжджому дворі в Жалеві, в регіоні Тросок, або в Адамовій лазні, Кутній горі. Угу.
That was a close shave, wasn't it?
Haven't even eaten yet.
Так, то до кого тут потрібно підійти?
Welcome, sir. What can I do for you?
I need a bath.
Certainly. My baths are at your service.
Я не знаю, чи він все
I'd like to get
тут
to know one
випаре.
of your pretty bathmates.
Don't worry. Once my girls get their hands on you, you'll forget all your sorrows. At least for a little while.
I can't wait.
Excellent. Pay up and we can get started.
Let's talk about...
Certainly. Excellent.
Йоп, студиться вже наступного дня.
I always get a hung.
Речі.
Hungry after a fuck like that. I'll go and find something to eat.
Тут вихід. все є. Зразу зброю залишу. Все є, і зразу готовий до роботи.
Here I am.
Let's have a look at you then. You've got a waiter's cap, a tunic you have. Hose are good. It's a good thing you've got no steel on you. You need to be light on your feet to run around tables. Everything as it should be. Glad to see it, lad. Do you know what your duties are? For an inexperienced greenhorn like you, it'll be a great responsibility.
Well, I'll happily listen to any advice. I wouldn't want to foul things up.
I should certainly hope not. Now listen. A good waiter should stand in a corner, look willing and ready, and not get in anyone's way. In short, behave as if you're not there. But when one of the gentlemen calls for wine, you run and pour it for him on the double. You'll find the pitchers on a table by the door to the chapel. You take one and go to their table and pour for them. White Tokaid or red monastery wine.
White or red, by the door to the chapel. Got it.
But for Councillor Adam of Zarzhitz, you must not pour at all. When he drinks, he disrupts and makes trouble. So the assembly has to be interrupted, or otherwise it never reaches an end. We can't allow that to happen in the presence of the king.
All right. Sir Adam of Zarzhitz stays dry.
And if the king himself wants wine, you pour for him with lowered eyes. Don't look at him. And the most important thing?
Remember who wants what?
That too, but more importantly, do not disturb the councillors at their work. They have a lot to discuss, and in general, a good waiter has to be invisible, blind, and deaf.
Oh? I thought I had to keep my ears pricked.
Well, yes, but only to what anyone wants from you. No excuses, and provide everything that anyone wants from you. Understood?
Absolutely. I'm a waiter after all, not some street gossip monger.
Correct. And if you manage not to botch it up, you can even rise on the social ladder. Not just anyone can serve the King of Hungary, but you'll manage it, right?
I know everything I need to. I can do it.
Excellent. Put away your things here. It's easier to serve with a lighter load. You can wait in the cubbyhole for the servants.
Гості буде замовляти вино або токайське біле, або монастирське червоне. Покликавши вас і піднявши руку. Якщо ви не впевнені, можна попросити їх повторити замовлення. На столі в кутку кімнати знайдете 2 глики вина. Візьміть глик з вином, яке замовив гість, і підійдіть з ним до стола. У розмові з'явиться можливість налити вино для гостя. Обслуживши гостя, можете або повернути глек на місце, або подивитися, чи ще хтось з гостей не хоче того ж вина. Будьте уважні, щоб ніхто з гостей не чекав надто довго, або не отримав вина, якого не замовляв. Часті затримки і помилки ніхто терпіти не буде. Так.
Our current Waffen arsenal is a joke, and on top of that, the army was requisitioning from it. Should the town reserve have worse weapons than any Räuber in the domain?
What are you getting at, Eldris?
I'm saying that the bandits who freed Hinnick, the Dry Devil, used that
Which
thing.
one?
Are you colorblind?
That
White.
Hackenbücher. Hand cannon. Can you believe it? Where did they get them?
You're the one who should know where they got them, since you're a gunsmith.
What are you implying, Friedrich?
Це яке є пошуміть. Взяти червоне, взяти біле. Я пошуміть. Нелегке завдання буде.
The city reserves are in urgent need of new weapons.
There are the pictures of wine.
Our current
Hopefully I won't splash anyone's shoes.
And on top of that, the army was requisitioning from it. Should the town reserve have worse weapons than any räuber in the domain?
What are you getting at, Eldris?
Червоне.
I'm saying that the bandits who freed Hinnick, the dry devil, used that thing. That
Як вашу мідь я не побачив, то саме підняв руку. Вони, я так розумію, у випадковому порядку завжди будуть.
The city reserves are
There are the pictures of wine.
new weapons.
Hopefully I won't splash anyone's
Our
shoes.
current Waffen arsenal is a joke. And on top of that, the army was requisitioning from it.
I'm sorry.
Should the town reserve have worse weapons than any räuber in the domain?
What are you getting at, Eldris?
I'm saying that the bandits who
Sorry?
freed Hinnick, the dry devil, used that thing.
Am I supposed to drink
That
red when I wanted
Hackenbischof.
Tokai?
Pardon me.
Hand cannon.
This noise.
Цьке біле. Монастирське червоне.
The city reserves are in
There are
urgent
the pictures
need
of
new
wine.
weapons.
Hopefully I won't splash
Our
anyone's
current
shoes.
Waffen arsenal is a joke, and on top of that, the army was requisitioning from it. Should the town
Boy,
reserve
I'd
have
like some
worse
white.
weapons than any räuber in the
Bio.
domain?
What are you getting at, Eldris?
I'm saying that the bandits who freed Hinnick, the dry devil, used that thing.
Sir?
That Hackenbischof. Hand
Thank
cannon.
you, waiter.
Can you believe it? Where did they get them?
You're the one who should know where they got them, since you're a gunsmith.
What are you implying, Friedrich? All I'm saying is that they had them, Herrgott. It is eine Schande when outlaws
I fancy
have
some
better
Tokai.
weapons than the city
Refill,
garrison.
boy.
And Herr König surely knows this too.
What is it, Eldris? You smell a deal?
What I smell is
Sir?
that your stubborn heads do not realize what Schwierigkeiten
Well,
this
thank
is.
the Lord.
The dry devil is running free. There are Raubritter everywhere in the region. We have the army bearing down, and you want to defend yourselves with a few rusty halberds.
And who is it you want to fight, exactly? The merciful King Sigismund is providing us with protection, isn't he?
Der König and his army will not be here forever.
Wait up! Pour me
Shut
red
up.
wine!
The king can arrive at any moment. What if he...
Червоне.
What then? We're sitting atop the biggest silver heap in the kingdom, and we're supposed to defend it with brooms?
Sir?
You're right, Eldris. But where can we get the coin for better equipment?
Thank the
You can
Lord.
always confiscate the property of the king's enemies, nicht wahr?
We are more than familiar with the jämmerlich state of our armory, and the king is surely aware of it as well. Maybe if he waived some of the taxes?
The king fears that this town will rise against him. He'll take the arming of the city's militia as a preparation for war.
So you suggest we just wait with arms crossed for the Raubritter to wreak havoc all around?
We can always ask the king to bring order to the realm with his army.
But then the Dörfler will rise up.
I'm afraid I see no solution of the current situation. We shall wait and see what His Majesty thinks about the matter. Maybe we can change his mind. Vielleicht?
I'd like to report to the Honorable Council on the cleanliness of the city and the state of the public baths.
You mean bath or brothels?
Isn't it the same thing?
So, the cleanliness of the city is not
Another
what it
drop
should
of
be.
wine.
The
Don't
current
make me
baths
beg.
in the city fall far short of covering all the citizens' needs.
You're right, Jerome. But a woman named Betty has showed up in Hopper and wants to repair the baths that used to be there.
She's a
That's the
protege
way.
of Maresh.
Good
Her
lad.
efforts are commendable, but I don't think she will succeed. It takes a firm hand, not soft, feminine fingers.
A moment ago, you were complaining there weren't enough baths. Shouldn't we support her?
Something like this is better handled by
More
trustworthy
wine,
people,
Master Bailiff.
like my
I have
friend
enough.
bathhouse proprietor
Come closer.
Adam. The need for cleanliness and citizens' health should not be underestimated.
Nor over it.
I need something from you. There is an item in my study that I confiscated from a female thief. She thought she could wriggle out of it by telling me who the item belongs to.
And what is it?
A silver goblet. She sneaked into Sir Ulrich's house and stole it. No one's noticed the theft yet. But if Ulrich finds out, he'll turn the city upside down to find the culprit. Go and get it. And don't you make a mess there, understand?
Where can I find this goblet?
Use your eyes and come right back with it, understood?
About who is going to wash where and
Добре.
how is a waste of time.
It's only a waste of time because we're always arguing about the same thing.
Not at all. If you finally admit that it's a trifle, we wouldn't have to keep
Nice.
coming back to it.
Whose silver might this be?
Do you ever walk the streets here? Sewage, rats, slop, and rubbish. The least we can do for the citizens is to provide them with a place to wash up.
What nonsense! Next!
І що за книга? Кутногорська книга
You're wanting to
присяг.
serve wine to everyone for free, too.
Why not? In Jerome Nas's earthly paradise, everything would be free.
Don't put words in my mouth.
Gentlemen, that's agreed.
So, did you find it?
I did, Master Bailiff. Here it is.
Not so loud. Show it here. That's it. And now go back to your job.
I got word that Ruttard has pulled up another deed.
That's nothing unusual. That old weasel will never accept that the city isn't run his...
Так. Потрібно не зберегтися. Я ваша мідь.
way. At least until His Majesty honors us with his visit. And as we know,
I fancy some
Gunslin
Tokai.
absolutely
Refill,
hates
boy.
him.
He can hate all he wants, as long as he does no damage. Ulrich, what have you got to say about it?
Me? Well,
Sir?
I'm not sure what you're implying.
Horseshit!
Well,
You know full well, everybody knows, he wiped the floor with you.
Compose yourself, Adam,
Hey,
and stop
boy,
drinking.
a full
The
cup
king
of
might
monastery
come
wine.
any time now.
That's right. Let's not burden the anointed monarch with such...
Me? Compose
Sir?
myself? Me?
Thank you,
I beg your pardon. I demand that you...
Ruhe! Franz, please continue.
I'm speaking about the Ruttard incident. You were there, weren't you?
Oh, that. Just a small misunderstanding. We
You there,
sorted it
lad.
out and everything
A cup of bread.
My
And don't
ears
you
must
skimp
be
on me.
deceiving me. Are you defending Ruttard? Besides, if his men attacked yours, as I've heard, then we have a
Sir?
good reason to punish him.
What happened there? Leave nothing
Well,
out.
thank you.
I don't like Ruttard, true, but in this case it really was nothing.
Everyone in the city gossiped about it. I heard there were several dead.
Did you? That's grossly exaggerated. I don't think Ruttard will cause any trouble. He is sensible enough not to draw attention to himself while the king is here.
That's true. Because if we don't do something about him, the king himself will put an end to him, and soon.
Unless he puts an end to us first. God knows what he wants to tell us.
If nothing happened, there's no point in dwelling on it. Let's move on.
Things have got out of order in the town. Some adventurers decided to take the law into their own hands and restore the tradition of dueling. Not only barbaric, but also illegal. If we tolerate this, the rabble in the city will go wild
Hey,
and do
boy,
whatever they
a
want.
full cup
I
of
suspect
monastery
the
wine.
gentleman from the city's sword fighting school brought this custom to us. That German Menhard
Sir?
is just hanging around the market looking for trouble.
Don't be
Don't hang around me.
ridiculous.
Vanish, you hear me?
You act like you've never been in a fight yourself. And to accuse a swordsmaster without a shred of proof.
Boy,
We're not some old fishwives in the marketplace.
So, you will just leave it be?
Everything in
Proven
order?
offences
Not
are
quite,
punished by the
but I think
bailiff.
you might be able
And
to
that's
help
that.
me. Come here.
There are more pressing matters to deal with.
More pressing than the...
Бляха-муха.
What can I help you with, sir?
I left my gloves in the chapel. I took them off to pray, but then I rushed here and forgot to take them. I can't just get up and walk out now. But if you disappear for a little while...
All day long.
All right.
There, one more reason.
I'll get them.
I knew I could count on you. While you're at it, count how many figures on the mural have wings.
But why?
Because I'm bored. And because I told you. Get on with it.
If I threw out everyone who complains over a beer, I'd soon be out of customers. Ah, the hell with it.
That was easy enough.
We'll
And he
never
wanted
get
me to
anywhere
count
like
the
this.
winged figures.
Why waste our time?
Так, постати з крилами. Один. 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Якщо не помиляюсь, 12, 13. 14, 15. 16, 17.
So, let's see what you've got for me.
I found your gloves, sir.
Really? Let's see them. And did you count those winged figures?
I counted 16, sir.
And did you count all the monsters and animals?
Oh, I thought you meant only the angels.
Go back to serving wine, blockhead.
There's the eternal dispute over the cathedrals. The building of the church is dragging on, and in the meantime, they are calling the pilgrimages to settlers, right under our noses.
I'll have a
It's
cup
just
of
the
wine.
village with the monastery,
Nice
and they are going to make a royal mining city. Why can't we
Белого.
build faster? Hire more craftsmen, start with night shifts.
Because those so-called craftsmen
Sir?
are a band of parasites. You pay them, they come late, or report sick, and if they do come, their work is shit, and you have to pay someone else to put it right. It's a waste of time. I tell you, a waste of time.
Adam, don't interrupt the proceedings with your drunken ranting. Even if you
Hey,
are
boy.
right.
A
And
full
as
cup
for
of
you,
monastery wine.
haven't you noticed there's a war going on? Are the experts from far off supposed to work in the city under siege?
Besides, I get the feeling there's something other than the welfare
Good.
of the city
Now
behind
enough.
your complaints.
Oh, you do? Do you? And what would that be?
Like, for instance, that you'd like to have your own altar there?
So what if I would?
Hold your horses, gentlemen.
Boy, I'd
that
like some wine.
space in the side nave is mine.
Then hell freezes over, my friend. Your place is at least 2 steps behind mine.
A swordsmith dares to insult me? Ha! I think not.
Excuse me. You wanted to buy yourself an
Thank
altar
you.
in the cathedral, just like you bought yourself a seat in this council.
How dare you? I acquired my seat for the services our guild provided and still provides to the crown.
Well, I hope you're not supplying equipment to the army. If that's all they have, they would be defeated by that bunch of ne'er-do-wells from the alehouse on Hopring.
What ne'er-do-wells?
Those wrestlers of theirs, of course. People from the whole town go to watch them brawl.
Oh, this is news to me. Because it has all been sorted out. Not long ago, the guards raided and threw them all out.
Ah, yes, I had forgotten. What do we have to discuss next?
I'm telling you, something is being planned.
Oh, I doubt it. No one's gonna tackle Rootard.
Azonal Gyurcsák össze! A legjobb katonákat, és keljenek útra!
Головне, щоб героя не узнали. Бо буде бобо. Бляха-муха, не дивися, просто наливай. Генрі.
You have nothing to fear. Not you.
And like this plan of fights!
Come now, Father. Put a little life into your dying. Seen more cheerful priests at funerals.
I'd rather be at one than here. I hoped I'd never see this fortress again in my life.
Unpleasant memories?
You have no idea. I didn't part ways with my father on entirely good terms. 20 years ago.
And now you're 2 decades older and wiser. At your Ujit's parish, you spread the word of God to your flock, and you saved my neck and Henry's too. I'd say your father should be proud of you.
None of that matters a damn to him.
Who knows? Maybe that 20 years has changed a thing or two.
You know what? Let's drop the subject. Do you know any of the guests here?
Most of them I'm seeing for the first time in my life. It's a pretty varied company. We've had bandits, nobles, burghers, a priest, and even a rabbi coming together here. It's like the start of some joke.
Wait a moment. Rabbi, you say? The Kuttenberg rabbi?
Yeah. He came with a retinue. But for now, they're keeping mostly to themselves. Maybe you should go and welcome some of them. After all, this used to be your home. And you're a spiritual man too, so you should have something in common.
I wouldn't be too sure. But I suppose I can try. Who's that French fellow you brought here from Malashov?
The great Baron Brabant. Been everywhere, knows everything, and has the keys to half the kingdom. He's got more fairy tales than my old nanny.
Can he be trusted?
He's a blabbermouth, but a harmless one. Besides, he defended Kuttenberg, and you know how that went. If he were on Sigismund's side, he'd hardly have been locked up with me.
А можливо, це спеціально підлаштовано це все було, щоб заслати шпіона.
How does it feel to breathe free air again?
What can I say? You can never truly appreciate freedom until someone locks you up for a while.
Or until you become a priest.
No fear of that in my case. I intend to enjoy life to the full. Wine, women, and song.
What do you plan to do now you're a free man again?
What do you think? Get drunk, woo one of the local wenches, and wake up in the morning with no hose and a head like a church bell.
Have you perchance forgotten we're supposed to be deciding the future of the kingdom here?
I'll leave that to the older and wiser. And duller.
Dear me. I'd rather creep off into some corner with a full wineskin. But I suppose I'll have to introduce myself to the rest of the guests, eh?
Indeed you should. After all, you are one of the lords of Rabosh.
Oh, don't start with that. I'd like to steer clear of the old man as long as I can.
In that case, you should sound out Radzig and Hanush and find out what they're actually planning.
Так, першим ділом підійду до... А, де тут вони? Як хтось? Ні, не належалося ще.
Good health to you, sir. I'm Godwin, a friend of that lad you arrived with, Henry. We don't know each other.
Baron Vauquelin-Brabant, Chevalier d'Arezzo. The last of my line. I am a warrior, a traveler, a strategist, and also, à ma manière, a poet.
My word. Isn't that exhausting?
Mais non! And I'm glad to meet a new friend.
It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance, Baron. I knew right away we'd hit it off. How did you end up imprisoned in Malashov?
Ah, c'est une histoire compliquée. It was after I heroically led the defense of Gothenburg, and only lost it narrowly by an unfortunate turn of events.
That needs some explanation. What unfortunate turn of events?
Oh, misère. It is clear you have never been to war.
You're quite mistaken, Monsieur Baron. I have.
Ah, je suis désolé. This Bohemia is a strange land. I have seen farmhands, children, and even women fighting. But the clergy? Sainte Mère, do tell me about it. No doubt you fought on the side of truth and honor.
My last big battle was in Kosovo.
I've heard of this battle. Many great men fell there.
Aye. And it was there I decided it was nothing for me. So I settled down in the presbytery in Ujits.
Then, what are you doing here at a meeting of opponents of the crown?
Ah, the Lord moves in mysterious ways. You say you're a poet? How about a verse or two to amuse us?
Jamais. Is poetry nothing but a fuss to you? Is a poet a gesture for amusement? I think not. To recite, I require the proper mood. And besides, few here would understand me.
Where have you been on your travels? Have you seen the ocean?
But of course! I was born by the sea. If you are interested in my greatest journeys, then I have traveled with a merchant caravan all the way to the Ottoman Empire. And if you are interested in my greatest deed, then that was perhaps saving the life of the King of France.
And you wouldn't by any chance know the Pope, personally?
Which one do you mean? I spoke briefly with Boniface IX when I was sojourning in Rome. A pleasant fellow.
How come almost nobody here knows you?
I am operating, as they say. Incognito. My great benefit is my strong connection with the French court. There, everyone knows my name. Here in Bohemia, I'm still building my reputation, slowly, but surely.
Можливо, навіть треба було у деяких попитати з приводу цього барабана, коли я ще грав за Індра. Так, ще тут з ким мене потеревеніти?
It's a matter of property and life or death.
Warring against the king of Hungary is quite a different matter than riding out with a company to attack a few bands.
Such rare guests. One wouldn't expect to find among Christians representatives of your community. I'm Godwin. My greetings to you.
Peace be with you. Neither would one expect a priest here. And yet...
How do you know I'm a priest?
It's not difficult to tell. After all, we have much in common. And we are both a little on unfamiliar ground here. I'm Yehuda, leader of the rabbinical court in the sacred community of Gutenberg. And this is Samuel, my aide.
Who would rather not be here at all. Why did we have to come here, Sadie? Can you not see everyone is staring at us?
Because we all need to help each other in this time of need. And why would they not stare when you are frowning so?
Are you here to arrange some trade?
We have more serious matters to attend to here than gaining a few groschen. The situation in the town and the kingdom is unsustainable. The whole land is on the brink of destruction. You have men and weapons. We have the means to sustain them.
Why are you telling this to a Koimer? You wanted to deliver what we brought to the Margrave and quickly leave.
Everything in good time, Samuel. We have just arrived, after all.
Did you come to lend money to the lords?
Not to lend, but to give. Help given to the needy is repaid only by God.
You don't even know if you can trust them. With that money, we could have paid mercenaries ourselves.
You remind me of my young friend Henry. He's a bit of a hothead too.
Henry? That messenger of Radzik Copula?
You know each other. You're both around the same age.
That would be him. We did not get off to a very good start.
Henry's done a few things I'd like to give him a slap or two for. But like they say, to err is human. For a young stripling, he's been through plenty. It's not so long since his parents were killed in Skalitz. He was supposed to become a blacksmith, and instead, he's roaming the world, risking his neck at every turn.
Wait, a blacksmith, you say? From Skalitz?
Aye, that's right. Did you know anyone there?
I knew of someone. A blacksmith by the name of Martin.
My daughter knew him most, and that is why Samuel is in this world. For our numerous sins.
Maybe he was my father, but he certainly didn't act like one. Ma raised me on her own.
And that was all for the best.
Why? He should have taken care of me, but instead he fathered another bastard.
Don't make hasty judgments. As far as I know, Martin didn't have any other children. At least, none of his own. He took in Henry, and raised him as his own, on the orders of the Lord of Skalitz, Sir Radzik Kobila, Henry's real father.
I don't care if he took care of 20 other Mamsas.
That boy's blood father denied him, just like yours did to you.
A person can't choose their parents. And Henry only found out about it recently.
Enough. I'd rather have a drink. Will you have one too, Zayde?
For that, there will be more suitable times.
Good health.
L'chaim.
Що б не запитати про того француза додатково? Було б саме те.
Dear friends and allies, in these troublesome times, you all know why we're here. The question remains, what to do next? Sigismund is facing troubles in Hungary, and here, too, he is up against resistance. He's a capable strategist, but a poor diplomat. Mark my words. If we wait him out until winter, he will leave of his own accord.
By winter, he'll have torched all our fortresses and carried off everything that we possess.
Are we seriously gonna wait and cower in a corner? Or are we gonna drive them out in shame? A few well-planned raids and we could have him in our fists!
At what price? Have you got men to spare? Has any of you got men and money to spare?
We don't have men out there.
Yes, we do.
We do not.
Jobst is right. That whole sun won't fall easily.
Only we can't wait.
Are we to get ourselves killed?
Or end with nothing?
Friends, we'll get nowhere like this. Let's adjourn ourselves and try to think it through.
Well, that went just as expected. Good health.
And to yours. Could it have gone any other way when there's so many of us here?
I would have expected a bit more sense from Jobst, of all people. He made an amateur's mistake. But it's hard to be angry with him when he's trying to ingratiate himself with everyone. By the way, I'm John of Liechtenstein. And you must be Godwin, the son of...
That's not a thing I've ever boasted of. How do you know that?
I have my sources. From what I've heard about you, I'd judge you could be quite useful to me at today's gathering.
Is that so?
Indeed. And that's why I'd like to ask something of you.
It depends what it's all about.
A little delicate diplomacy. I expect we can agree that Jobst's plan has certain shortcomings?
That's a weak word.
And the way it stands at the moment, he'll never get the support of the council. But I have an idea how to change that.
Well, I'm curious how you hope to shut Zizka up and satisfy the ones who want peace.
We'll sit and wait quietly until Sigismund withdraws of his own volition, as Jobst proposes, but we'll be waiting in the military camp of our huge new army.
When Sigismund sees that, he'll be off to Hungary all the sooner. At a gallop.
Exactly. Sigismund's army is demoralized and weakened. And besides, he's running out of resources. He's able to tackle fortresses that aren't able to defend themselves, but he won't engage an equal force on the battlefield.
But he can't retreat either. That would be a disgrace.
And that's exactly why we'll wait until he's called back to Hungary by events there. For the plan to work, we need allies, their money and their determination. We've already set the ground for it. We just need negotiators who will push the right people in the right direction.
Are you saying you set everything in motion even before Jobst?
More like in parallel, but without his knowledge. If we find support and make it look like the whole thing was his idea, we'll all win.
Why are you doing all this anyway?
Because I want to put a stop to the senseless deaths. And also because I'm happier with Wenceslas on the Bohemian throne.
You've got an interesting way of approaching things.
You're certainly not the first to tell me that. I take it as a compliment.
I'll help you. What exactly should I do?
I'll give you 3 names. Bocek of Kunstadt, Hamann Alder, and Anna of Waldstein. If you can get those 3 on our side, We've won the day. Meanwhile, I'll take care of Jobst.
What if it doesn't work?
I refuse to even consider that outcome, because it would mean slow but certain defeat for all of us.
Why me, of all people?
Because you've got a head on your shoulders. You know how to talk, and you're not just out for your own good. You and your friend Henry are similar in that respect. That's why I know I can count on you both. There aren't many like you two left.
Tell me a bit more about those people, so I know who I'm dealing with.
Certainly. Who do you want to start with?
Wojciech of Kunststadt. I know the name, but I can't quite place him.
That's just the thing. He's got massive estates, great influence, but he holds back. He doesn't play the big game, because he doesn't like to take risks. He always goes for the sure thing. But once he's made his mind up, not even a pair of oxen will hold him back.
Alder the Alderman. Wasn't he a Kuttenberg councillor?
He still is. The only one who retained his position after the city was taken. Only he's here, instead of cozying up with Sigismund in Kuttenberg. So his days in the council are numbered. But he'll continue to have a strong influence on the guilds and the rich burghers. And that's why we need him.
Anna of Waldstein. The widow of that rich mine owner. What was his name?
Wenzel Bartosz. And I'm not surprised you forgot.
I was quite surprised to see her here. Assemblies like this are more of
a male affair? So far, Godwin, so far. Anna is holding back and behaving like an exemplary young widow. But don't trust appearances. She's got claws, she knows how to do her sums, and she certainly has no love lost for Sigismund.
And what use can she be to us? Apart from her late husband's money, of course.
She's as sharp as they come when it comes to trade. And she knows a thing or two about diplomacy. There are wicked tongues that claim Bartosz acquired most of his wealth thanks to her. And that it was thanks to her that he died, too.
I'll get on it then. Wish me luck.
I wish us both luck. Before the day is over, the die will be cast.
Success to our plans.
Сподіваюся, все нормально пройде.
God be with you, noble lady. There's something I'd like to ask of you.
God be with you. What would that be?
Your diplomatic support. And your money.
No beating around the bush, eh? I like that. But what do you want my money for?
Margrave Job's plan has some gaps, milady. We need to gather enough resources to...
To muster an army that Margrave can't afford on his own?
Christ. Be praised. You're astute.
I should say so. All sorts of people have their eyes on my money, and divining their intentions is a necessity. Although, between the two of us, it isn't hard to figure out what Liechtenstein is after.
How do you know Liechtenstein's behind it?
I know most of the people here very well. Many of them certainly have doubts about the Margrave's plans. But they wouldn't dream of stating them aloud. While it seems that Lord Liechtenstein, on the contrary, sees his opportunity.
I'd say you have a better nose for people than most of this crowd.
Not only for people, but also for good food and wine. And beneficial deals.
Then you're in the right place. This occasion provides all of those things.
The wine here is average. The cooks lack imagination. And I have yet to hear any interesting offers. So, to the point. What is it that Liechtenstein wants from me?
Nothing more than support and resources for an army to parley more effectively with Sigismund.
Nothing more? I'd say that's plenty. And why ask me for help? Why should I, of all people, take the risk?
It's not only your money we're interested in. You're well able to negotiate and trade. And if you were to take part in our plan...
Then I'd be helpful to you on two fronts. If you want me to support you, you must give me a good reason. Perhaps a favor in return.
Do you have something in particular in mind?
Well, one of the guests here has something that shouldn't get into the wrong hands.
Who's that?
Harmon Alder. Now, if you were to switch these papers for the ones he brought with him, I would support your proposal.
Have you fallen out with the town councillor?
No. Alder is innocent in the matter. My relatives from the House of Bartosz are behind it all. They're disappointed that I dared outlive my husband, and the fact that I'm handling his estates makes their hair stand on end.
And these papers I'm supposed to switch, what do they concern?
My relatives somehow dug up some trade contracts between myself and certain undesirable parties.
You were dealing with the enemy.
They were not the enemy at the time. My conscience is clear, but I'll rest easier when those papers are in my hands.
I'm supposed to rob an ally.
Harmon Alder was given the documents to deliver to the council. He hasn't yet had a chance to look at them, so he won't even notice the difference.
And the papers I'm supposed to plant on Alder?
Just insignificant documents. If the incriminating ones disappeared without a trace, it would arouse suspicion.
All right, I'll help you. Or at least I'll give it a try.
Alder will surely have the papers in his saddlebags, which he left in the shed on the outer courtyard. Bring them to me, and put these there instead. But watch yourself. Odorim's groom has eyes everywhere.
Перехистя можна? Можна. До речі, що тут по збереженню? В принципі, можна зараз це і зробити.
May I have a word with you, sir?
You? Anytime. With you, at least, there's some sensible conversation. Unlike this pack of conceited upstarts.
Have you got something against the Kuttenberg nobles?
Their forefathers lived up to their ears in dung. But thanks to the royal mines, they were born with silver spoons up their asses. And they think that can turn their blood blue.
But surely they're not all like that. And they are our allies.
Allies or not, someone ought to show them their place.
Young Lord Capon is finally free again. Let's hope he'll take better care of himself now.
He got a harsh lesson. But at least he might remember to lay off that tomfoolery of his for a while. But if not, war will make a man of him soon enough.
Do you think there's really going to be a war? I mean a proper one, not just sitting around and talking about it.
I sincerely hope so. Whoever sits around risks nothing. It's time to get off our asses and take action.
What do you think about Jobst?
Are you testing me? Jobst called this assembly and he wants things to turn out well. We have to trust him.
To turn out well for whose benefit, though? Some are up to their elbows in silver and blood, so others can live in freedom.
Better make sure you're among the latter, then. And in the meanwhile, help the former to keep their losses to a minimum.
Godwin, you wouldn't be avoiding me. We didn't have much time for conversation on the way here. Let's rectify that.
With pleasure, sir. As it happens, there's something I'd like to ask you. What are you expecting from today's gathering, my lord?
Well, I have no great expectations. But, all going well, we may be able to establish some joint steps towards the future. As long as we proceed without prior agreement and mutual support, we will be very unlikely to achieve any progress.
I couldn't help but notice your son has A bit of a talent for getting into trouble.
To put it mildly, but not to do him an injustice, knowing young Lord Capon, he undoubtedly contributed to that more than a little. Although, if they didn't pull each other out of trouble, God knows where they'd be now.
Wise words. Still, Henry's come a long way on a thorny path. I trust you're rightfully proud of him.
You know, I am. And Martin would also be glad, even though Henry chose a different path than he.
May God grant him eternal rest. Where did you leave Sir Divish? Surely he's not too old to miss out on such an event.
Haven't you heard? Lady Stephanie is with child. No one even imagined Divish would produce an heir at his age.
As they say, it doesn't matter who kneaded the dough, as long as there's a pie in the oven.
Godwin.
Well, it could be a miracle. Praise the Lord!
Можливо, то постарався якраз Індржих.
What brings you here? Greetings. What do you need?
Aren't you a bit bored?
What's your problem? The horses are fed and watered. I'm not idle.
God forbid. But standing around here must be a pain in the arse, no? You might get thirsty.
Not really. What of it?
Shall we roll some dice? I'm sure you can take a little breather, eh?
Well, all right. But just for a little while. I'll wait at the table over there.
Ти підеш?
Hey, you! What are you doing here?
Йопс тудей.
God be with you. There's
God be with you.
your
No,
Margrave.
to...
Christ.
I should... Or the...
How do you...
I know most of it, but they would... Well, it's not
Я
only...
зараз це все пропущу.
So,
Nothing.
nothing
It's you well.
there. If you...
Do you have...
Well, Harmon... No,
Have you...
no. They're and the fact...
And the...
My relative...
You were...
They were not...
I'm so...
Harmon, he has...
And the...
Just...
All right.
Alder. Bring them, but what...
Так, це я.
Take a look at that. A knight. It looks more like a wet hen to me.
Ага. Ну, з грошима трохи є.
God bless.
I just need to get something from the shed. You know what? Take this here. And you saw nothing. All right?
And what's there to see?
Not a sausage.
Ну, краще вже так підкупити просто і забрати ці документи. Такі є в вашому, де вони? Вони тут повинні бути. Теоретично. Понятно, так. Ага. Так, заручитися. Це є.
have got to stop.
You're...
May I?
You? Unlike. There, and they. Hello.
Young.
He got. But if.
Do you? What
are you?
Son.
Better make.
Godwin, we didn't have...
With play.
Well, but as long as... Although...
Wise.
You know...
May... Where...
Haven't you? No one... Godwin.
Well...
Так, це є.
I've got those papers from Alder for you.
Quiet! You don't have to announce it to everyone.
My lady, with all the clamour going on here, I can hardly hear my own thoughts. Here they are.
You're more capable than I expected. Thanks for the help.
You're welcome. And now you're part of the bargain.
As agreed. I will support Liechtenstein's proposal with both words and money.
Thank you, noble lady. God will...
Yes, quite. But let's drink to our bargain, Godwin.
How could I refuse a toast with such a fine lady? To your health, Lady Anna.
And to the success of our efforts.
О, чому не було підгледіти? Ну, в ті документи. Чи є там щось цікаве?
I'll tell you, nobody has the likes of these.
I'd like to check your horses out and see if they're as good as you say.
Ha, even better. But you won't believe it until you see for yourself.
And you might not believe your eyes when you do see them. Well, well, we have a new guest. I wanted to...
You wanted to apologize for crashing into my home without it by your leave. Or to arrest my guests some more?
I want to have a word with Alder.
Well, I'm having a word with you.
I apologize, Father.
For interrupting our conversation? Or just for being you?
Is that your...
Unfortunately. Speak up then. What are you doing here?
We'll talk later and in private. Right now we have more important things to attend to.
Don't try my patience.
Why so strict, Martin?
20 years ago, he was nothing but a cheeky brat, only interested in wenches and booze. I got him a place at the Archbishopric to have some sense beaten into his head. Only it wasn't long before they kicked him out. And then I find out he's settled in some backwater parish in Sassau. But he took his boozing and whoring along with him, lost everything, and then came creeping home again. Huh?
Try saying it again a little louder. They might not have heard you in the outer courtyard.
You have the impertinence to show me your face after the way you disgraced our whole family?
I wouldn't set foot here if I had a choice. Better to be a priest in some backwater than have a father like you.
How dare you?
You're as shit a father as I am a son. We've got nothing to blame each other for. And now let me speak to Alder.
You're dishonoring your host.
I can't dishonor someone who has no honor. If you had any, you'd be...
That's enough.
Christopher.
You won't get away with those insults. I challenge you to a duel.
I'm not happy about it, but I accept. This isn't how I imagined my first meeting with my brother.
Make room for us. We'll just settle a very private matter. It's an honorable duel, man against man. Stay back.
Cover your right side! You've got a gap there I could drive a cart through!
My God. Where did you learn to wield a sword like that? Father always said you were a good-for-nothing boozer. But you could teach sword fighting in a school.
Це так його зразу приклав.
I was in a war. Right after they kicked me out of the Archbishopric. And you ought to know yourself. Not all the faults that Father sees are real.
Aye. Well, I apologize for going off like that. I had to, so that...
So father would be satisfied. I know. Only he'll never be satisfied. The sooner you realize that, the better.
I thought he was the way he was because his first son let him down. And he hoped at least his second would become something.
Not at all. I remember him the same since I was a nipper. When I was 6 years old, I fell off a horse and broke my leg. He wouldn't talk to me for a week because I'd let him down.
The first time he took me hunting, he let me starve for 3 days until I was able to shoot my first hare.
Only 3 days? He got soft.
I always wondered who you were. There was never much talk about you at home.
Look, I really did fuck up everything I could. I brawled and boozed until they threw me out of my own parish. But now, I have a chance to put things to rights a little.
And that's why you want to talk to Alder?
Aye. The outcome of this war depends on it.
That sounds very important, considering you and Alder are both pretty small players. After your encounter with Father, it won't be easy to get to Alder. Actually, I don't think you should even attempt it. Unless you want to anger Father even more.
What else can I do, though?
I'll talk to him myself. He'll hear me out for sure. But you'll have to trust me and tell me what it's all about.
All right, then. You've heard Yob's plan, right? It's a nice idea, but we can't wait around without an army to back us up.
Only no one's going to pay for one, because that would be an outright admission of rebelling against Sigismund.
Alder's got some clout with the councillors and burghers who are loyal to Sigismund. If he agrees, they'll follow.
I expect Alder's not the only one you're after.
You got that right.
Leave Alder to me. The plan sounds sensible, and he's no fool.
I don't know how to thank you.
You can drag me to a tavern sometime. Pa doesn't need to know about it.
You're starting to sound like a brother.
Ото файно, ото добре. Головне, щоб все полосі як треба. Ні хрена не зрозумів, куди він дівся. Наступний.
You said it yourself.
Так, це з ким мені потрібно поговорити взагалі. Підтримкою Бочика.
Back then, now we're allied.
Sir Bocek, I need to speak with you for a moment.
A man hardly puts his cup to his lips and someone comes along to put a flea in his ear. Yobs comes up with a plan as full of holes as a beggar's shoes, and now you're all jostling to win me over for him.
On the contrary, I've come here with an idea how to improve it.
Does that improvement include a few thousand men at arms? If not, you can go to the devil with it.
A few thousand men at arms as a convincing argument. And 100 horsemen on top. Only in order to get them, we need coin.
You've got my attention, but not my money yet.
Don't worry, it's not just your money I want to draw on. Believe it or not, we've gained other patrons for our cause too.
Really? Name at least one of those lunatics then.
Anna of Volstein, for instance.
Truly? Well, let's see about it then.
I wouldn't mention the word lunatic.
All right, let's discuss it, candidly. I have a lot of property, lots of subjects to look after, and along with that, the Lord blessed me with a large family. I can't risk it all in a conflict with Sigismund.
So you need guarantees that you won't be left standing in the cold if you openly oppose Sigismund.
My guarantee is called Yitka. She's my niece. If I succeeded in marrying her off to another strong house, I'll have the certainty that I won't be left alone.
Maybe it's enough to find a suitable groom among the allies.
Perhaps someone of suitable standing who Yitka would also gladly accept. I don't want her to be unhappy.
тачок. Він якби гуляка, той ще Ліхтенштейн.
I believe Liechtenstein is single.
And an uncertain party. Besides, he's inconvenient for Sigismund. Yitka could end up being a pawn to blackmail both of us.
Його? Рипень. Точно ні, а от тачок, походу.
How about young Lord Capon?
He's a youngster still.
What's wrong with him? He's young, he's handsome, women are fighting of him. Yitka will like him, and he'll give her a whole bunch of children.
And to half the wenches in his domain too, eh? On the other hand, the lords of Lipa have a good reputation, and Hanush can always be relied on despite his temper. Maybe it's not such a bad idea.
I'll convey your offer to Lord Capon. If he agrees, we can celebrate our lives.
I don't care what the young lord thinks. Hanush is the one to decide. If he agrees, I'll be happy to support your plan.
Pushing a friend to tie the knot to save the kingdom. Things have come to a pretty pass.
The kingdom will not forget his sacrifice. Now stop dilly-dallying and go and tell Hanush.
Цікаво, щоб він відповів, якби Богота сам себе запропонував в ролі чоловіка, його доньці.
Christ be praised. Sir Hanush, I bring happy tidings.
You do? Let's hear it then.
I've gained us a powerful ally.
And who is it? I hope it's not one of those Kuttenberg stuffed guts.
On the contrary, it's Bocek, the elder of Kunstadt and Podjebrad.
Kunstadt? My Christ, he's the last one I'd have expected to step up. How the hell did you do it?
Well, there's one little catch. I had to promise him... I don't even know how to begin.
Out with it.
Lord Kunstad has a niece, so I arranged a betrothal for young Lord Capon, with your blessing if you agree.
Hans Capon is to marry Yitka of Kunstadt. Godwin, you conniving old bastard!
Oh, fuck.
I don't believe it. So, young Hans is to marry Kunstadt's daughter?
Niece.
If you're serious, I'll make sure that you get the Rattay parish.
Or you could make me the abbot of Sassa. Or what about a bishopric?
Forget it. Soon I'll be paying for a wedding. Not a word to Hans. I want to tell him myself. But let's drink to it, shall we?
Cheers!
Cheers to you! And to your parlaying skills.
То не повезло птайчика. А то не повезло.
So, Bocek, your niece Yitka can start preparing for her wedding.
So Hanush agreed, without reservations.
Indeed.
Then I will fulfill my end of the bargain without reservation.
Thank you, Lord of Kunstad.
Enough formality. We'll have a drink. What do you say?
Звісно, я вип'ю.
Cheers to the beautiful Lady Yitka and the unhappy Lord Capon.
Here's to a good bargain.
You seem a bit out of sorts. Anything wrong?
Oh, these grand aristocratic assemblies are nothing for me. I'd be happier if they just told me in the morning how it all went and what my boys have to do next.
But then you'd miss all the grub and the booze. And the gossip.
Oh, and have you heard anything interesting here?
It seems Liechtenstein's looking for allies. For his own ends.
And how's he gonna do it? Didn't you see them all fighting tooth and nail here just a while ago?
Well, different approaches work with different people.
The only approach that'll work with Sigismund is open resistance. Maybe on the field of battle?
Let's hope young Lord Capon manages to stay free for a while longer. Ever since leaving Rattay, he's gone from one pile of trouble to another.
That's one thing you can always count on him for. I'll gladly wager with you he'll end up in some other shit by evening.
God forbid. Henry's not here now to pull him out of it.
In that case, it'll be up to you. I'm sure you wouldn't leave him to disgrace himself in front of Hanush.
A lot of people think the wealthy burghers will stick with Sigismund, whether out of fear or convenience.
Well, that's to be expected. As long as Sigismund has the city council under his thumb, no one will rock the boat.
Well, at least there's a few individuals here, like Ruthard.
Sigismund confiscated his castle and half his estates. That'd be enough to make a man mad. Not to mention that his son was killed in the siege of the city.
Так, цікаво ще, з ким тут можна потеревеніти. О, тут варта.
Sir, I don't believe I've had the honor.
Nor I, until now. I am Sir Conrad, Lord of Vechta. And you are the heir to the Lord of Rabosh, are you not?
Used to be. My father somewhat disowned me some time ago.
And I used to be the Royal Mint Master, until the King decided to replace me.
Are you going to support the Margrave's proposal?
I haven't quite decided yet. It's true that displeasure against the king is noticeably growing in Kuttenberg, but if our rebellion were to come face to face with Sigismund's army, I'd be risking my future, if not my life.
Do you think you might get your position as Mint Master back again?
I doubt it. Half the town hates Vavak, but no one would even think of saying a word against him. And he knows that his security stands and falls with his function, so he clings to it tooth and nail.
We've got quite a bit in common, wouldn't you say?
More than you think. If my memory doesn't deceive me, you serve as a parish priest. So I recollect, at least, from my recent discussions with Martin.
Served. That's in the past.
Even so. Before King Wenceslas appointed me his mint master, I was a priest. I was even being groomed to become a bishop.
And now look at us. We have cast off our robes and merrily hatched plots against Sigismund.
There's no point in waiting for divine intervention. On the contrary, the current state of affairs demands quite a secular approach.
It was a pleasure to meet you.
Likewise.
Добре. Так, тут нічого.
I've got some good news and some bad news for you.
The bad news is there's hardly any females in this whole damned place. There's some old bat standing there with two young girls, but she watches over them like a mother hen. So at least tell me the good news.
Actually, never mind.
At least the wine here is decent. Cheers!
To your health.
Who could pull a thorn out of our side and get some influential...
Gentlemen, I think we can raise our goblets to the successful conclusion of the negotiations.
Is this supposed to be your secret weapon?
Like I said, miracles happen where you least expect them. Tell me, Godwin of the House of Odorin, what news do you bring us?
I bring nothing from the House of Odorin. But the widow of Waldstein and Sir Bocek of Kunstadt will support our cause.
Both of them. Good heavens, what did you promise them?
This is going to be a long story, and I could use a drink. So if you'll excuse me, my lords?
It would seem that we have all benefited from the break in these proceedings. New alliances have been formed. And I have also changed my plans. We shall still wait for Sigismund to withdraw his troops of his own accord. But we will wait with an army at our backs.
Yes! And how are we to raise an army? Wasn't it made clear at the meeting that no one wants to take the risk?
The only thing made clear was that each of us alone is weak, and that we could not find common ground. But that has now changed.
King Wenceslas is, by the will of God, the balbatim of all his subjects, not only the Christians. Our community, and not only ours, will give you coin.
The Kuttenberg houses are still loyal to King Wenceslaus, and we stand with Lord Ruthard.
And if that's not enough, the houses of Leipa and Kunstadt will unite and march side by side.
My niece, Yitka, will take young Lord Capon as her husband.
Оце повезло птачку в лапках.
Lords Kunstadt, Hanush, Radzig, and I will set out immediately. God willing, we will be back within 3 weeks, along with an army.
Now those are words worthy of a nobleman.
My friend, I still believe that words are more powerful than swords. And our words will ring in 1,000 voices to the glory of King Wenceslas.
After we conquered the city, you promised to restore order immediately. And then I find out things are even more disordered than before.
Your Majesty, we are sorry. We will put it to rights.
You've already said that. I want to hear real solutions.
We will put more guards on the roads and toughen penalties. We can have a few captured bandits executed as an example to others.
We do not care about bandits. We care about rebellious nobles and burghers. What will you do with them? How will you solve the chaos in the town administration, the rebellious miners, and the dismal yields? And how is it even possible that a rebellion against the king is smoldering here in the city?
What do you mean, sire?
I hear the resistance is coming from the Jewish quarter, from right under your noses. Why haven't you done anything?
We don't know who is behind this. Without evidence, we cannot punish them.
Otto von Berghoff did not ask questions in Prague either. He acted. And I advise you to do the same. Find a couple of wretches in a hole somewhere, point them to the Jewish quarter, and give them free rein to do anything. The city's Jewish community was and still is on Wenceslas' side. They need a warning.
We do not even have enough men to...
Marquardt, could you spare a few men for a while?
Of course, sire. I'll assign them to Eric. He'll take care of it.
So you see, all you have to do is make sure the city rabble get their share. You could at least manage that, couldn't you? And if the thought should cross your minds that you would get rid of the debts to the Jewish moneylenders this way, forget about it. Your debts will remain, up to the last groschen. Only now you owe us directly. And while we are on the subject of money, has the yield from the mines finally matched last year's?
Sire, the deposits are dwindling, and mining is becoming increasingly difficult. And to make matters worse, the miners started rebelling.
Don't take us for a fool. They'll stop rebelling when you pay them proper wages.
Your Majesty, we can't do that.
Silence! How dare you oppose the kingdom's protector? You're a bunch of incompetent sycophants! Chicken shits! Not any better than the scum hiding in the forest.
And drunks! Give them hell! Lazy fools, the lot of them.
How dare you?
Some of you are even swelling right here in the city council meeting. This is unbelievable.
Remove this swillpot from the hall immediately.
I'm telling the truth. This whole council is a farce. The whole city knows it.
Lord of Sargents, your insolence just cost you your place on the council, and a month in the dungeon.
But...
Hopefully that'll be enough for him to sober up. And if not, put him in the pillory for a while, bailiff.
I'll see to it as soon as the council is over, Your Majesty.
All I hear from you over and over again are excuses and prevarication. And results? None. I therefore place the city council under the authority of Sir Marquardt von Aulitz, who is present here, with immediate effect. He will make sure you finally do your duty.
But, sire, that would be a violation of the privileges granted to us as free mining town.
Silence! I am the only guarantor of your rights. You have to earn your privileges, not hide behind them. During my brother's reign, this idleness was perhaps tolerated. But that is over now. You were given a few simple tasks. But instead of working on them, you idled in the baths and lined your pockets. And let the traitors cast their nets undisturbed. But unlike my brother, I am capable of creating order. And I assure you, I do not distinguish between those who stand in my way. Be they beggars, noblemen, or city councillors. You have 2 weeks to restore order in the city and increase mining output. I want clear results, and you answer only to me and Sir Marquardt von Aulitz now. No one else. The council is dismissed. You, don't go anywhere, boy. Be so kind and remain here. Our throat has become rather dry. And we still wish to speak with our friend von Aulitz.
Yes, sire. As you wish, sire.
Between the two of us, Marquardt, was I not perhaps too harsh on them? And speak candidly.
Так, що мені зараз потрібно? Точно. Обслужити короля. Так.
We have had enough of false flattery.
Sire, you were harsh, but rightfully so. These councillors, they need to be shown their place. You suffered their insolence for far too long. And the same is true of the Jews.
We know. Otto repeated to us several times.
Так, збереження є. Є.
It's time to strike against them. We are glad he's not here. He would be intolerably self-satisfied if he knew we had heeded him.
Boy, can't you see the king's cup is empty?
You tend to us as if we were infirm. Boy, pour us a monastic wine. The monks had a good year. We have concerns, friend. The Hungarians are rebelling. Our army is falling apart, and we have enemies here on all sides. Would we had a proper army instead of human mercenaries. They cannot be relied upon. And we are no closer to our goal now than a few months ago. Thank you. It is a good year. If our father were still alive, he would have been astonished by the mess that a few years of Wenceslas' reign brought to us. With a single word, he would have put the nobility in their place, and the country would flourish. God grant him eternal glory.
We won't need much more time. We'll arrest the traitor Odorin, and the rest will fall in line.
You say the others will be brought into line, but what do you know of them? We know only a few of them. But there's a fortress standing on every damn hill here. What side are their lords on?
We'll find out soon enough, sire.
If only Wenceslas were not such a stubborn ass, and relinquished that throne that he has no use for anyway. The nobility, on the other hand, found a ruler like him very useful. They made a puppet out of him.
Once you restore order, they'll join you. All you have to do is promise them the privileges they lost during Wenceslas' reign.
First, they'd have to be willing to make peace at least among themselves. Jobst does everything he can to sow chaos, so that he himself emerges victorious in the end. This business makes me thirsty. Pour me some of that red, boy.
I think Jobst is just waiting for the right moment. He'll switch sides when it suits him.
Maybe. But first I'll have to conquer a few more cities, and get a couple more lords on my side. Then they take the threat of war seriously. And Hungary. If Bohemia is a wasp nest, then Hungary is a viper's lair.
You will follow in his footsteps, sire, as soon as you get the chance.
But the wine is good here. To your health, Martin. And to your health too, boy. May your children grow in a land ruled by a good king.
Thank you, sire. You are too magnanimous.
Why? You did a good job. You can be proud of yourself.
To your health, your majesty.
First, we need to crack down on the biggest troublemakers.
We're working on it. While the consul was meeting, Otto von Berghoff and his men set out for Rabosch. Odorin won't give you any more trouble.
He and Ruthard are in it together. Once we get Odorin, we can handle Ruthard easily. Rabosch will be yours. After all, Otto has already got Barishoff.
I appreciate your confidence, sire.
But the devil knows there are a lot more strongholds to conquer here.
For the king, red wine, boy.
No. We shall have white. We have had enough of red.
White it is. Quickly! If Rabosch falls, others will follow.
I think von Berghoff's little contraption will find its use again.
If need be, we could use it to raise this town hall too. And I have some suggestions for other candidates.
Not so fast, my friend. It's a wondrous tool, but we can't rely on it forever.
But to bring it here to the square and point it at the city hall? Those sycophants would only benefit from a warning like that.
It's a splendid idea, but it won't be necessary. The councillors are quite fearful enough already that they can hide nothing from us.
There's been enough fretting, sire. You shall see.
Soon we will drink to the conquest of another fortress. You are right. So then, to victory. And you, boy, will you drink with us? So that you shall have something to tell your children and grandchildren.
No, sire. It would be inappropriate for me to drink with you. I apologize.
As you wish. To your health, Marquardt, and to our upcoming victory.
Тож, на даний момент я буду вже завершувати дану серію. Всім дякую за перегляд, всім до побачення.